Greetings, everyone. For today, our topic is related to two types of sentences based on structure. So let's have a look. There are mainly four types of sentences based on the structure, with a simple sentence, compound sentence, complex sentence, and compound complex sentence. Now, one by one, let's have a look on each type of a sentence. Starting from a simple sentence, we know that it has one independent clause, but before this, I wanted to discuss and review about the clauses that mainly we are having the two types of clauses. One is dependent clause and another is independent clause. If we would talk about the independent clause, so it is called the main clause as well, which does not need any other clause to complete its meaning, and it can convey its meaning or idea in a complete sense. On the other hand, if we talk about dependent clauses, so there is another name for dependent clauses which is known as subordinate clause, and subordinate clause or dependent clauses cannot stand alone for the meaning. Now moving towards examples, as you can see that Sarah kicked the ball, we have a single independent clause and we can understand the meaning clearly, so it does not need any other clause to convey its meaning. In the second sentence, we can see that the flight delayed from its actual time. Again, we have a independent clause, so it is a simple sentence. The third one is we visit England twice every year. Again, over here we can see that this is a simple sentence because we have one main clause, or another sense we can say that we have one independent clause. The next type of the sentence is compound sentence, and it contains two independent clauses, and they are joined with coordinate conjunctions. For the coordinate conjunctions, we have another lesson and it's already present in the channel, so you can go and look into the details of the coordinate conjunctions. So the coordinate conjunctions are usually, for that we use acronym fanboys, which is F for, A for and for nor, B for but, O for or, Y for yet, and S for so. So over here in the examples, we can see that Jennifer likes swimming and Maria likes running. So we can see that there are the two independent clauses. One clause is Jennifer likes swimming and is the coordinate conjunction, and Maria likes running is another independent clause. So we have two independent clauses and joined with a coordinate conjunction. So this is a compound sentence. In the second sentence, we can see that he has a rabbit, yet he wants a cat too. So over here, the yet is the coordinate conjunction, which is adjoining the two independent clauses in the sentence. For the third example, we can see that the house was sold out, so we visited another location. Over here, so is a coordinate conjunction which is joining the two independent clauses because each clause can convey its own meaning or idea. So the house was sold out, and one main clause. We visited another location, another main clause. So the two main clauses or two independent clauses joined with the coordinate conjunction is the compound sentence. So I hope you will identify compound sentences very easily with the identification of these independent clauses and joining of the coordinate conjunction. The next type of a sentence is a complex sentence, and it consists of one dependent and one independent clause. We should know about the dependent and independent clause for its formula so we can understand and identify it easily. For example, John cried because the car hit him. Over here, we can see that John cried because is subordinate conjunction, the car hit him. Another example is, although he was considered intelligent, he failed all his exams. Although is a subordinate clause because when we know or when we study about the complex sentences, so we should know that over here only subordinate coordinate conjunctions will be used, not coordinate conjunctions. So subordinate conjunction, if we are using at the start of the sentence like although, so how we will disconnect or how we will separate the two clauses with the help of a comma which has been used after the intelligent. So we have one independent clause, although he was considered intelligent, and one independent one, he failed all his exam. So we have one dependent and one independent clause and joined with a subordinate conjunction. So it's a complex sentence. In the third example, as we can see that we will not go for shopping if it rains. If it rains is the dependent clause. We will not go for shopping is independent clause or the main clause. If is a subordinate conjunction. Moving towards the last type of a sentence, which is compound complex sentence, as it itself is telling us about the compound complex that it is consisting of at least two independent clauses with the one or more than one dependent clause. So this formula is very mandatory and is very important in order to identify and in order to formulate the compound complex sentences. Over here, subordinate and coordinate conjunctions both are used for the separation of or joining of the two clauses. Maria has a beautiful garden, so she is always outside when it is sunny. In this example, we can see that Maria has a beautiful garden. It's independent clause, so she is always outside. Independent clause, so is a coordinate conjunction. When it is sunny is dependent clause. The function or the basic function of the subordinate clause is to introduce the dependent clause in a sentence. In the second example, we can see that I cleared the exam, but I would have gotten good grades if I had studied for the practical section. Over here, we can see that we have one coordinate conjunction, but and if is a subordinate conjunction, which is introducing a dependent clause in the sentence. And in the third one, we can see that when I reached home, no one was present, so I called my mother who was at work. Who was at work is a dependent clause over here, and who is a relative pronoun. So besides subordinate conjunction and coordinate conjunction, we can use relative pronoun as well for the introduction of a dependent clause in a sentence. I hope you have enjoyed the lesson. Don't forget to subscribe the channel for the more updates. Thank you.